Okay, we're downloading A Game's formula.
3, 2, 1.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey everybody, how we doing today? Hopefully everybody's doing well. Hopefully everybody is doing well. I apologize for the very late start today. I posted it on the community tab, and I don't know how many people actually got the notification for that, but I do apologize for the very late start today. We will not be making that a habit at all. Do I look okay to everybody in terms of, like the focus? Do I look crisp, like on camera? Like, or does it look a little funny? It look a little funny to me. No, it's not. It's actually not new. That's part of the issue. Might need to get a new one. Oh, no. I look fine. Sometimes I be having to double check. It look a little blurry. It's not clear to you guys. And this is actually this is a 4K. Same camera I've been at. Nothing really different. But let me do a little bit of a tweak because it doesn't look as crisp as it should look. Is this better? Is this a little bit better? I call myself, because usually doing this will focus it. Like make it focus on one thing and then pull back. Okay. All right. We got that settled. Somebody put my email into the chat. kdavis3678@gmail.com. Okay. Messing with this dang camera. Okay. So I wanted to sort of piggyback off of the video that I did earlier today when I talked about the ordinance and that particular ordinance was in Greenville, South Carolina in 1918 that was forcing Black housewives to come out of their homes to go to work in the homes of white women. Okay. And they were characterized as loafers. They were characterized as not providing any value sitting at home. Okay. And we kind of broke that down, what that meant, value to whom and all of that sort of thing. But right now, what I want to do is I want to bring that to today's time. Because at that moment in time, in that place, and you can imagine that was going on all around the United States, right? We're astute enough to understand that wasn't a one time, one place, one thing that they were doing just in that one city, okay? We know that they had different various arbitrary laws that they would make up, little city ordinances, little city laws, little, things of that nature in order to keep a tight control over the Black community, in order to disrupt the community by disrupting the family. Okay. But what really went on is that they needed to maintain that level of disruption. However, 1980 or 1990 or 2002 or 1970 or any of those things is not 1918. See, today's price is not yesterday's price, right? Someone said that they're shocked that they comply with it. Well, I'm not shocked that Black people comply with that, because there was penalties behind it. We're going to fine you or we're going to jail your wife. Okay? So they create the penalty so that you feel compelled to actually do it. Then they make examples out of people. If you don't want to do it, this is what's going to happen. Your wife go to jail, she might not come back. She all of a sudden, she did it to herself and all of that type of stuff. So we comply with little ordinances, okay? We comply. How many of us complied during C-19 with masks and gloves and social distancing? And we complied. And we didn't argue about it. We just did it because we were told that was the safe thing. We were told that, okay, that was controlling our biology, which immediately changed the culture, which immediately changed the environment, right? Okay. So I'm not surprised, but that's not even so much the point that they complied with it, because that was under a pressure. Black women at that time were in the home. See, this is why your big mama worked. This is why your big mama would work. And what they did was spread the narrative that your big mama was working because your big daddy didn't have no money, which was a lie. Lies. Okay? Lies. Your big daddy had money because a lot of our big daddies was in the military. Now, my big daddy particularly, he wasn't in the military. Not that I know. Thank you, Miss Lou Casely. Not that I know. He wasn't. But too many, right, were in the military. Okay? Because in 1918, my grandfather probably would have been 18. So our big daddies had skills. Our big daddies had money. Our big daddies were working. Our big daddies was men. And I call them big daddies, our grandpa. Okay? This ordinance happened in 1918. They torched Black Wall Street in 1920. Black Wall Street existed in 1918. The black men who founded Black Wall Street were millionaires. You understand what I'm talking about? Black men were you understand me? Not everybody, obviously, but black men there were black male millionaires. There were black men who were wealthy at that time. This is why they needed to separate the black family, because there was no way that black people were going to remain under subjugation of any kind as long as we had black men that was as industrious as they were, especially during a time where so much discrimination, Jim Crow, etc., where they felt like they could actually just come and bomb a whole city because black men were upwardly mobile along with their families. So it was important to break the black family up and separate black women away from black men, because black men have always understood how to get around this system, how to beat the system. But it worked then because he had his family and his support with him. Black men still understand this, but there's no support. And now he's even more heavily disenfranchised than he was back in the day. And we're going to talk about that. Thank you, H. Lewis said most of the women in my family have never had to work outside the house. They are all very feminine and married. Coincidence? I think not. Of course not. Because staying in the home with your husband under the cover of your husband makes you feminine. Being outside the cover of the men in your life and in your family makes you masculine. Okay? So now this concept of taking black women out of her home and forcing her into the workforce outside of the home started with these types of ordinances and forcing them to do so. Black women wasn't on that type of time. Why? Because they men was taking care of them. It wasn't no reason to run to Zaddy. No reason. No reason to do that. Thank you, Yikwaba. Okay? So like I said, in that era, white supremacists could just randomly create ordinances and laws and little bylaws and this and that criminalized the black family, that criminalized black interaction, and that criminalized black men and black women as individuals. They could always make up some type of little thing, justify it some type of way, and then pass it as a law, all without black people's input and really without our knowledge. But like I said, as time went on, these types of blatantly stated policies, you can't do that without major pushback. You can't keep doing that kind of stuff. Black people not gonna stand for that, okay? But regardless of that fact, the black family still needed to be disrupted and then destroyed. That still was a priority. Taking black women away from the black family has always been key to this plan. It effectively removes men and women from their natural biological place, okay? So taking her out of her place removes her from where she needs to be biologically, okay? Where she naturally, normally would be. With her husband, he would be the head of the home, providing 4 P's, covering his family, providing for his family, problem solving for his family, protecting his family, and procreating with and among his family. She don't have no reason to leave, right? But if you take everybody out of their normal, biological, natural position, what you do is that women will eventually begin to take on a more independent attitude. She'll take on a more independent attitude because women's survival start kicking in. That selfishness in our nature starts kicking in. If you take us out of a place of security and you put us in a place where it's unstable, we're going to start leaning towards that selfishness because that's a form of survival for women. And if we feel unstable and unprotected, we're going to take on a pseudo-masculine energy as well to go with that, because we no longer feel safe. We no longer feel stable. This is a normal female reaction. Okay? They know that. They understand that biological fact. Conversely, for the men, it doesn't give him any outlet for his 4 Ps. If his woman's not there, you know what I'm saying, that limits his ability to influence his family. That limits his ability to provide the 4 Ps, his family, and provide leadership to his family, because now his wife has to go out and get leadership and instruction from another man. Now she got to go out and work for this white man, and now she got to listen to everything that he say. And it ain't hard to fall back into that plantation type of thinking, because in 1918, you know what I'm saying, and early era like that, we was just out of slavery. It hadn't been that long. And the culture was still heavily oppressive. You had to look down when white folk came, and you had to cross the street. You could, and bow, and, let them call you boy, and, all this other demeaning, degrading type of behavior was a part of the culture. The only place we had freedom of expression was in our homes and in our communities, which is why segregation from that standpoint wasn't all that bad. Okay? The bad part, one of the bad parts about segregation is the limited mobility. Like, we still in this land though. You know what I'm saying? So we can't just really be, like, we gotta have some type of mobility around. Study running into y'all, and y'all got sundown towns, and ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Right? So it takes the men away from doing his duty and being able to do his duty, because now his wife is coming in from outside with different ideas on what should be going on with her and all this other type of stuff. Okay? Now, all of this that I'm talking about take time. This is not an immediate thing. It was not an immediate thing. Okay? Black women didn't immediately turn on they men after one little job or one little ordinance. No. They had to come up with other methods. Now, the thing about it is this. If we cannot continue to create different little laws and policies and thus and so to make her work, how do we make her leave her home willingly to fulfill in the future the meaning of that ordinance? Because whether the ordinance still stood or not, the purpose of the ordinance needed to be completed as far as white supremacy was concerned, as far as the system was concerned. That still needed to be done, because we got to understand this is a means to an end. Making black women work is a means to an end. Bringing her out of her home by force at first is a means to an end. Her working is not the end result. That's just how we get into the end result. You understand what I'm talking about? So now they got to come up with ways to make black women willingly do this so that they don't have to create ordinances. She'll do it on her own. But how? What do we need to do? What do we need to do to create this environment for her that she will willingly come out of her home and choose this over her family? What do we do? First thing that we gotta do is we have to create instability within her home from a financial standpoint. Because remember, the whole reason that they were mad with that ordinance is because black women could stay home. Why could they stay home? Because black men were stable. Black men had stable income that was enough to sustain his family without a second income from his wife. This is doing way too good. You're doing way too good with that. Way too good with that. We got to bust that up because this is the thing. Black men, in order to accomplish this, thank you, Mano, for the contribution. Thank you for the contributions as well. Greatly appreciated. It really keeps me able to do this content and keep this channel going. So thank you so very much for everybody's contribution today. So black men needed to be properly rendered useless financially. Now we got to have these heavy-handed tactics, heavy-handed but subversive, covert, okay? Can't always be this hammer over your head, but we got to do it though. What do we got to do? We have to render black men useless financially. Now, black men are always going to go work and find something to do. He gonna come looking for work. He gonna come to his local, you know what I'm saying, mechanic shop. He gonna come to the local, wherever, to work. The local restaurant, the local construction site. He gonna go to these places to find work. And if he happened to, you know what I'm saying, it's not a lot of companies owned by black men in this time. So he gonna have to go to these white-owned companies and things of that nature to ask for a job. Now, regardless of his skill set, his knowledge of the job, his commitment to it, how many years he been doing this type of work, his educational level, it didn't matter. What we're gonna do is we're going to employ all of these discriminatory practices. This is well before EEOC. So I can just tell you no because you black. And I can do that. And I'm under the law. I am allowed to do that. Okay? So boy, you can't come work for me, boy. And if you do, I'm gonna pay you wages that I know are not enough for you to live on and not enough for you to take care of your family with. So I'm gonna underpay you and overwork you. Okay? If you come over here, yeah, you can be employed, and then I'm gonna promote other people over you, no matter how much I'm gonna make you train white men that's underneath you that don't have the knowledge that you have. And then I'm gonna promote them over you. So you done trained them for 2 years, and then next year he'll be your boss. And you've been there 15 years in the same position. See, that type of stuff. And so many different examples that we can all think of. We can all think of all the different ways in which these discriminatory practices were employed far and wide. Okay? So set the system against black men. Set it against him. Make him have to triple, quadruple work to get things done. While he set him in a position of struggle. Make him start struggling financially. Close the job markets off from him. Okay? Then make it illegal for him when he find other ways to make money that weren't illegal before. Make it illegal. Whatever he done, find out what black men are doing to make their own money when they not coming to white people to ask for jobs and stuff and apply for jobs. Whatever black men are doing to create and generate income, it might not have even been illegal in the first place. But once you find out what they doing, make a slick little law to make it now illegal for him to do that, so that if you catch him doing it, you can put him in jail now. Now he's a criminal. See, they've been working this for a long time. They've been working this kind of stuff for a long time to make him a criminal. You know, he was making something and selling it. He didn't need no license to do that. He didn't need no permission to do that. There wasn't no law or anything like that. He double checked. It wasn't nothing on the books that said he couldn't make this or make that and sell this and sell that and be over here and be over there. You know what I'm saying? Making his money. Don't let it catch on and black men be like, oh, okay, we can do this to make money with among ourselves and stuff like that, and we can sell these goods and we can do this and that. See, they'll come through and outlaw you can't make that. What? Yeah, you know, you're not allowed to have this type of supply, you know, over here. Since when? Since I said so. Since today. Since right now, boy. Come through and just torch a store. Come through and just torch, you know what I mean? We know that that's what happened. Okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a real quick commercial break, and then I am going to come back and we're going to finish cooking this because I want to tie it in to what go on today. And hopefully y'all will be like, oh my goodness. You know what I mean? So after these messages, we'll be right back.
Look, black guy. Hello, how may I help you?
Hey, Habibi, look, my hang low ain't working like it's supposed to. You got any of them sex pills?
May I randomly suggest one of these generic products?
Nah.
You should take the A game, little bro.
Bling bling for the ding ding.
Nah.
You shouldn't be taking that poison, little bro. Here, try one of mine.
Yes, right.
A game will make a girl give you her credit card number.
It is very true.
Plus, it's an all-natural solution for men. Not like these gas station pills gonna make your manhood shrivel up and fall off.
Oh my golly, he's right. A-game is an all-natural solution for men. And you take it and it give you energy and libido and your vitality will be out the roof.
I feel it kicking in already. I'm gonna go home and show my girl.
Okay, but don't forget to drink 16 to 32 ounces of water.
Hey, baby.
Ooh, look who brought their A game.
And that A is for apocalypse, cause I'm about to blow your back up. Ow!
Ooh, I love it when you bring your...
That commercial is always funny. A is for apocalypse, okay? And then she couldn't even get the sentence out before she was knocked out, okay? That's because he was on his A game. And I know that we laugh and we joke about the libido component of A game, but A game is really so much more than that, because what A game really is this very potent, long-lasting, no side effect, herbal-based, completely herbal. It's 21 herbs. And what this really does for men is help them in support of their overall health. It increases the blood flow in a man's body. And that increase in blood flow really supports his vitality, his energy, his strength, and his libido. So you're getting more than a boost in the bedroom. You're getting a boost in every area, okay? And A game is long lasting, so you don't have to take this every day. You're taking one pill every 72 hours, and you're drinking a lot of water so that it can really flush through your system and really help a man meet all of the challenges that he has during the day, during the week. You know, A game really helps you get on your health journey and really start taking a look at what you're putting in your body. This is such a helpful thing for men to have in their arsenal, right? So many men that I know personally take A game, and they were taking other things and like supplements and this and that, and they stopped taking them. Now, I'm not referring to medicine. I'm talking about vitamins and this and that. They stopped taking the other stuff. Like, you know what? I only need A game. And what's special about A game is the fact that it is 100% natural. It's herbal, okay? There aren't any artificial types of ingredients, lab stuff you can't pronounce and things of that nature. No sugars and caffeines and all of those things that really work against you rather than for you. A game never works against you. It always works for you in the benefit of your health. So if you want to become part of the A game family, all that you have to do, I made it so simple, is click the link at the top of the chat, agameherbal.com. And please don't forget your 10% discount using the code Kendra10. And you can have A game delivered to you ASAP, okay? And I want to thank you so much. Unity said, peace and blessings, Kendra in chat. Thank you so much for that generous contribution. Thank you so much, Unity 2025. I really, really appreciate it. Really appreciate that as well. Okay. So we're trying to bring this from late 1800s, like the Reconstruction era, early 1900s, okay? Black women were on board with black men. No reason not to be, okay? Although the white supremacist system was in constant effort to disrupt the black family at all costs, okay? So where we left off was the disenfranchisement of black men. And I know that I'm not giving a super detailed history of it because it's been such a long, hundreds of years. Black men have been getting disenfranchised by this system. So I can't enumerate each thing. However, we understand that this system decided that black men needed to be heavily targeted by the state and treated as a criminal by it. Overly incarcerated, overly arrested, overly harassed, stiffer sentences and penalties, being jailed and made to stay there until court dates could be assigned. And sometimes that would take months to years. Even today, you can sit in 26 in California in that jail. You can sit there, you can get arrested, sit there for 2 years before your first court date. And in that first court date, it'll be a continuance. And you will have to sit in that jail. Thank you, Mahir. Say, assalamu alaikum, Kendra. Wa alaikum assalam. Remember, Quran stated that Shaitan would threaten us with poverty. Yes. Loss of life and fear. But his plan is weak. They accounted women to be at an 8-year-old girl, meaning she has a weak mind to divide us. And that's so true. That's so true from a spiritual standpoint. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that insight and that piece of information, because that is something from the Quran. Don't let Shaitan threaten you with poverty, right? But this is exactly what happens, right? Then start doing things like influxes of drugs into a community. Get black men out of his right mind, okay? And ultimately get him out of the picture. But they had to set that up before black men would be in such a vulnerable position to take to the drugs. See, the disenfranchisement took a while, okay? You had to set black men up in such a state where he didn't have anything else to do. They still do that today. Just a couple of years ago, we found, like on the south side of Chicago, just a truck with like boxes of guns in them. Like, who does that? Who does that? And fortunately, the majority of the black men, and it's a lot of young black men in that area, they didn't touch it. They was like, no, that just sound like a trap. That looked like a trap to me. And they called the police. They called the police. Come get this. Come get y'all stuff. The police was mad. They was mad. These are y'all. They was like, no, ain't nobody got no rented truck. Okay? And had no guns in it and just pulled up and parked it. Boy, if y'all knock that off, come get y'all stuff. This ain't none of our stuff, and we not touching it. This cheese in a mouse trap. What y'all think? Y'all think we real stupid. We not doing that. And then it kind of was on the local news or whatever. Thank you so much, Philip J. Congrats on 78. Thank you so much for that. Philip, for your support. I really, really, really appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, they had a truck full of Nikes. You know, every once in a while they have a truck full of just goods, you know, just stuff, hoping that our young black men will go and get it and be stupid enough to be trying to distribute it and all that type of stuff and sell it or whatever. And then they can come through and arrest you for having stolen goods. Ain't nobody stupid. But they had to get it to the point where black men would, that sending and flooding drugs into the community would actually have the desired effect that they were looking for, which meant that black men would either become addicted to the drug or they would try to sell the drug in order to get money. Okay? And then criminalize the drug, right? So now while they're disenfranchising black men over the decades, it's getting harder and harder, and he's continuing to draw the women out of the home, what begins to happen is as he disenfranchised black men, she's forced to come out of the home. It forces her without an ordinance. She looks like, man, I gotta feed the kids somehow. You know what I'm saying? My husband been out of work 8 months. They'll give me a little job. You know, I don't want to scrub the floors for Miss Ann, but you know, that's the only thing we got. So I'm going to go on over here and scrub these little stupid floors for Miss Ann. I can't stand Miss Ann, but I'm going to go over here because our family got to eat, you know. Now, I know my husband is not lazy. I know my husband loves us and he provides for us. But at the same time, if they're going to keep him out of work, we have to eat. So she began to come out of the house on her own. Do you understand? Are you starting to see how this working? Come out on her own. You don't need to have a little ordinance in the paper now. You've created an environment where she's going to act in the way that you predict for her to do. And this is before LBJ and his welfare state, okay? Because you know, we have to go through the Great Depression and everything. And that happened in what, from 1929 to what, 1933 or something like that? Okay? So now she's coming out of the house to become enslaved by the system. She's coming out of her home into the plantation again, where you can have control over her at work biologically, culturally, and environmentally. You have control over that entire situation. But even this is not enough to ensure victory for them. Because why is it not enough? If black men ever overcome this disenfranchisement tactics that we're putting on him and he becomes successful and stable again, well, black women might go back to him. How do we stop her from going back. We gotta make her like it. Now we gotta brainwash her into preferring this setup rather than thinking I only gotta do this temporarily and then I get to go back to being a wife. And I get to go back to my family and I get to go back to my community. So now we're moving it on up until the feminism women's lib era. Feminism and women's lib accomplished the goal of brainwashing Black women into not only willing acceptance of that setup where she's preferring to work more than she's preferring to be at home, but to prefer her life without the cover of Black men. To prefer to live without the covering of Black men. Okay? How do you do that? You push a couple of things. Not only do you push Black women's lib and feminism and all of that sort of thing, but you also, mind you, this is at a time when they have assassinated Black leaders. They were actively and viciously going after revolutionaries such as the Black Panther Party, breaking them down via the FBI, the CIA, and all of these overt and covert tactics utilized to break down the movements. So they're breaking the men movements down. You done assassinated King. You done assassinated Malcolm. You've done various different assassinations across the country of Black male leaders. You've jailed them if you didn't assassinate them. You've put up trumped up charges on them. You know what I'm saying? It's men now that went to jail during 1969 when they were breaking up the Black Panther Party that's still in jail now. You understand? All of these different charges, all you know what I'm saying? You deleted a cop and you did this and you did that. Ain't did nothing. But we gonna trump these charges up and we are going to incarcerate you. We're gonna get you out of the way. We're gonna get you off the street. We're gonna get you out of the community because see, you know how to think. And that's what's dangerous about you. You understand how to think. You understand what we're doing to you. And we don't need you, Black men, spreading that message to everybody because Black men understand what's going on with them. Thank you, U.S. Army retired. So the modern woman wants the advantages of being a woman, the authority of a man, and accountability of a child. Thank you so much. Said, thank you, The Zone. Said, you are always beautiful. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much for that. So we're going to bust you up. We're going to break you down. Then we're going to work you. So we do that with the law and with the police and with the, you know what I'm saying, and all that type of stuff. We break you. And then we break you culturally because we got to stop y'all from running around here rising up. See, we got to ice that. We got to ice that because Black men get themselves together every decade or so. And then they be back at it, trying to have a revolution and trying to stop us from being a white supremacist power structure. Thank you, Robert Ross. They always getting together doing that. And so we got to stop that from even happening. We got to stop them from even thinking about that. We got to make their conditions so bad that they only think in terms of survival. They don't think about the higher things that they need to think about. We're going to break their value system. We're going to do it all. Ruin them culturally. Like I said yesterday, the black exploitation of the 70s. Okay? Movies coming out like Claudine and things of that nature. Well, because what year did Claudine come out? It had to be the 60s or the 70s. Okay? So we got all of these things that's happening on an environmental level, we got them happening on a cultural level, and finally we're going to ruin you biologically with drugs. We're going to ruin you biologically even before that with the Tuskegee experiment and various other. So we're going to ruin you through the healthcare industry. We're going to ruin you. We're going to break you all the way down. All the way to where you can't recover. Okay? And then they do that and then tell black women, like Carolyn Bird said in that article, black men are just incompetent. They can't provide or protect for black women, but they neglect to tell you why. Why is he in that position? See, what they said was black men were just incompetent and they lazy and they just want to be, you know what I'm saying? They just want to be criminals and they want to be, you know what I'm saying, unproductive. They want to be that. It's opportunities out there because if you can get the job, black woman, he can get it. That's a lie. That's a lie. But black women carry that torch right today. If I can do it, why come they can't do it? You don't know your history. Any black woman saying that don't know nothing about history. Nothing. She knows nothing about history at all. Thank you, Des. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I would love to have Auntie Shahrazad Ali on this show. And I'm going to try my best to make that happen if I can. Okay? Tell black women, look around you. Are you stable with black men? Is your household stable with him? In the background, they eradicate black men, present to black women. See, he just lazy. See how all of them go to jail? See how all of them drug dealing? See how all of them doing this, the robbing, stealing, and doing this and doing that? See what's going on with that? You can't make no home with no man like that. Thank you, The Zone said Cooley High, the movie. Yeah, I couldn't stand Cooley High. But you see how they do it. So they're eradicating black men through all available means. And so this will give so-called credence to the narrative that black men are just ineffective as men. Okay? Are we understanding how these things are coinciding? They're not happening in a vacuum. They're happening together at the same time. Okay? So what we do is we set this situation up and then we just allow it to take on a life of its own. And that's what it does. So black women actually begin to grab hold of this destruction on their own. We don't need an ordinance no more. We don't need that. Black women will do this on their own now, willingly. And they won't let go of this narrative. No matter what strides black men collectively make in terms of mobility, education, profession, leisure, or wealth, black women will now always prefer her own work over him as a family. The plan worked because the plan was, how do we make sure that even if black men get on their feet somehow, she won't go back to the old system? We make her break the system. We brainwash her to break that social contract with her man. Break it with him. Break down these lines of communication. Break down these interpersonal relationships. Break them down. Give her feminism to help her along. Make her think this is her idea. Make her think this is a good idea and this is her idea and she's thinking on her own. She's not thinking on her own. We put a battery in her back, but shh, don't tell her. Plan worked. Because now, no matter what black men do, she always gonna prefer work. Even if she's a wife that don't have to work, she's gonna prefer, I'm not sitting down. I'm not never gonna not work. How many times have we heard that? And the narrative get pushed to reinforce it. Black men are unstable. He can't be trusted with the finances. He's not reliable financially. He doesn't have any money, etc., etc. Where do they learn that he's unstable? Because at any time, this system can go back into these heavy-handed disenfranchisement tactics against black men. He's not unstable because he just don't want to be unstable. It become instability when what he has gained in his education or professional knowledge and things like that, the system start negating it. Moving the goalposts, in other words. So every time black men beat the game, they change the game, change the rules to the game. So this creates in black women's minds a sense of instability, and the system will come tell her that, see, your man ain't stable. The only thing ever been stable been me, baby girl. The only thing ever been stable in your life been Zaddy. So you might as well, that's why she'll do anything that boss man say at that job. Okay? You tell her you don't need her staying out late at that job and working all them late overtime hours. And if that boss man say, well, you know, he won't just make it mandatory, but he'll be like, well, you know, you could make more money, you know, or you might get that promotion if you do. And she'll go against what her husband talking about. Forget what he talking about. She gonna do what that boss man say. Okay? She only will benefit. What happened was this. It set up a situation where black women would do exactly what that ordinance was forcing them to do in 1918, which was to be a benefit only for white supremacy, not to the exclusion and detriment of being a benefit to her family. Not both. Not both. Don't come benefit us and then it's okay if you benefit your man. No. Only benefit our system. Do not be a benefit to black men. Do not. Thank you, Rella, said the television show Julia, where the black husband and father was conveniently removed, but her white neighbor and had her husband and was able to stay home. Okay. Oh, that was that show with Diane Carroll, was it? Remind me if I'm right or wrong. I might be off. But thank you, Rella. She only can become an asset and a benefit to the system, not her family. To the point now in 2022, what do black women complain about not wanting to do? What is it? What's the big conversation? What you gonna bring to the table? I want you to cook. I want you to do domestic things. I'm not doing that. I'm not coming in cooking and this and that. And why do she say she not gonna do the domestic work? What reason do black women by and large give to black men to tell them why they're not gonna do no domestic work and why they're not gonna benefit a black man in a marriage? Why do they tell him? What they tell him they doing that trumps what he wants? What they always say, I'm working. I work too. So that's her excuse for not fulfilling the duty of wife and mother. I'm working too. So if I go out and work, I shouldn't have to come home and cook for you. I shouldn't have to come home and clean for you. I shouldn't have to come home and raise the kids and get them in bed and do their homework and this and that. My apologies. I'm not going to come home and be a benefit to this family. My benefit is to Zaddy. All of everything that I have is a benefit to them, not you. She complained about being a benefit to a black man, even down to menial tasks, stuff she think is menial, okay? Things that she would happily do at work. So this is a chick that work in Wendy's, and she sweep the floor every day, and she gotta empty the grease vat, and she got a mop. These are all domestic tasks that she doing at work. If she come home and her husband say, mop, sweep, clean the kitchen, she got mouth for him. Why you want me to do that? I ain't no maid. I ain't no slave. But she'll go to work at Wendy's for $9.95 an hour and do that same work for 8 hours. 8 whole hours do that same work. And a do overtime if her manager comes say do overtime. Thank you, Byron. McGee said, they fear an inversion of power, a payback if we move forward. Weak families make weak communities, making a weak nation. We must get back in order or continue to decline. Equality, not revenge. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. So she'll tell her man, her husband, just like that clip that went viral that I did a video on. Her husband come home and say, I work 13 hours a day. I can't even hardly get no food. She's standing there in the bonnet eating cold pizza. Girl, if talking about what she not going to do. Because she working. The work trumps the family now. Thank you, Nora said, for OT. Thank you so much. We got a little OT coming. Thank you so much, Norin.
Thank you for supporting me on my show, okay? I just wanna thank you for helping me on my show, all right?
Thank you so much. Thank you to Norin. Thank you for all of your support, sweetheart. I really appreciate it. So here's the takeaway, okay? For the lioness. We can never fall as lionesses into this type of trap. Even if we are working, because there are lionesses that are not housewives. We go out, we work, we go kill a wildebeest, we go kill a Thompson's gazelle, and we bring it back. Here's the difference. A lioness understands that all of her work, all of her money, all of her effort, all of her time, all of her energy that is spent is done for the benefit of her family, not the system. Okay? So I'm not saying a lioness don't work. We definitely work. We definitely work. But the difference is the mentality of what we're doing and why we do it. We working not to prop up a system. We're working to help our families move forward and thrive. That is the purpose of the lioness doing everything that she do, whether it's in the home or outside of the home. This is why let me say this as well, because we talk about I got a PhD and all of that type of stuff. Thank you, G Maddox. I'm fighting a hyena now for my little girl. I hope that you're successful in what you're trying to do, G Maddox, because children need their fathers. Definitely. See, I talk about, we got a PhD. Let me make something real clear. I don't have any, zero, zilch, no problem with a lioness getting a PhD. None. She can get as much education as she can possibly get. Because what this is going to do is this is going to equip her with the ability to go catch bigger prey for her family, not for a system. Okay? We do this for the benefit of our husbands and our children, not for the benefit of a system that consistently searches for ways to break us and keep us broken. We know as lionesses who we should be loyal to, and that is our men. Certainly not to be loyal to a malevolent evil system that literally is out to get us all the time. People don't believe that, but this system literally is built on being out to get you, being out to get us specifically. Thank you, Child of Light. So it's interesting that everyone can do black men wrong, yet we aren't supposed to feel some anger about it. Getting is what it is. Grading is what it is. Yeah, I can definitely understand that. And thank you so much. And thank you, 39 Dina, just for the love. Thank you so much. So a lioness understands that our loyalty is never to this system. The loyalty is to the men that are willing and ready and able to be loyal to us, to cover us, to love us, and build with us. And we know how to thrive with those men. And we know that this system does not allow us to thrive unless the system itself can reap all the benefit and we reap none. Lionesses understand this. So let me make that very clear. Lionesses, please go get your education. Please go and get, you know what I'm saying? Go and get, if you have a career or whatever, that's beautiful. But we understand as lionesses that we don't choose these things over and above building with our families. We choose these things in order to build with our families. Can we understand that? I just want to make sure that everybody's on the same page. That's what lionesses do with her profession. That's what she do with her mobility. That's what she do with her education. I'm out of order, but y'all know what I'm saying. That's what she do with her leisure. That's what she do with her wealth. It benefit her family. That's who it benefits. We don't spend no time doing nothing that our husband can't benefit from, that our children can't benefit from, that our family can't benefit from, that our community can't benefit from. We are not spending 40, 50, 60 hours a week doing some nonsense and our husband don't even like it. Like, what is you doing? I'm working. You know, knock it off. I don't even like your job. This the job I had when you met me. You know, shut up. I've been trying to get you another job. Trying to get you to work with me. What I'm trying to do. Lionesses understand where our energy and our loyalty lies. We know our husbands and our children are supposed to benefit from what we do, whether it's domestic work, whether it's professional work, whatever it may be. We only are doing that so that our family can thrive and we reap the benefit of that work. Thank you so much, Art Brantley said, preach knowledge and wisdom, ma'am. Thank you so much. So this is just what I wanted to bring to everybody today. Just wanted to bring that message and tie these messages in. So I'm hoping that everybody or at least most people got something out of this today. I really do hope that that's so, because I really love coming and speaking to everyone. And thank you for all of the congratulations for the 78K on the subscriber count. I really appreciate every last one of you. Every last one of you. Okay? Thank everyone for their contribution. Thank you, Miss Paris. Said gleaning wisdom from every video. Thank you. You're so welcome, sweetheart. I want to thank everyone for their generous contributions through Super Chat, through PayPal, through Cash App as well. Thank you so much. I want to thank everybody for their likes and for their participation and for bearing with me today on a late day. And last but not least, I want to thank my support team, without which we would not be able to bring you any of this content. Oh, and don't let me forget. How can I forget? We still have our petition against Black Lives Matter Global Networking Foundation. We want to go ahead and get to 9,000 signatures if we can by the end of the week or as soon as possible. So if you have not signed the petition, but you want to be a part of holding Black Lives Matter accountable for more than $100 million theft from the Black community, I urge you to go ahead and click the link that my mods have so graciously put into the chat. Please go sign the petition, share it, and also contribute to it as well. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, Crimsonites. Hey, guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.